Okay.
Hi. This is so weird. It's me again. I'm not in my usual place. I'm in my friend's.
He's in a much better place.
Yes, I'm in heaven. I'm in my friend's hall. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm 19 and I never fucking know how to read. No, but for real, I am 19. I do know how to read.
What are you doing
studying at LSE. Shut up. I don't know how to drive. I'm studying at LSE, studying government, which is just politics by any other name. But LSE likes to be difficult, so they name things government, and then they name the politics and IR course politics and IR, even though functionally I'm doing the same modules. But yeah, today I'm here with Ash to talk about the intersection of being BME and
international at an elite university like LSE.
Oh, I'm from Jamaica.
Yeah, she's from Jamaica. I'm from Malaysia. Studied in Australia for 2 years, which is why I have that weird screwed up accent.
I don't know where I got my accent from. I don't sound like other Jamaicans, except when I'm angry or inebriated.
Okay, so why did I want to make this video? Well, simple, because
we've been through shit.
Yes, we've been
also, we watch their white people. We're woke.
Like a lot of like conversations around being BME in elite universities tend to like center around what it's like being British BME.
Yeah, everyone just forgets like BME international is just like, oh, they like, first of all, there's the assumption that we're all rich. I mean, of course, Ashley can't count himself on that one. We're all rich. Like, we all didn't work hard to get here.
And we're all Asian.
Yeah, we're all Asian. and I'm just none of those things. I'm on a full scholarship because I'm poor. Not that poor, but poor enough that they gave me a full scholarship. It's an academic scholarship, but the way they fund them is that it's needs based, so they just give you however much you need. Like, and they decided I need all of it.
I didn't qualify for any scholarship, so if that doesn't, is that not a marker of my social class?
But you know, Ashley's a class traitor, so we accept him.
Following the footsteps of Marx.
So we're gonna start off with something light.
Yes.
Like lighten the appetite. Speaking of appetites, food.
Oh my god. Yes, what is it like? Okay, so being BME and international, what has the cuisine scene been here in London?
Like, I think it's like catfish really, because you see these foods and they're presented in a very nice and delicate way and they look like they're about to be scrumptious and they're just not. Like, they just taste like soil. The worst. Like, salt is not a seasoning. And what makes it even worse, like, I don't care if you take like regular dishes and make them, well, and label them, you know, what they're supposed to be labeled as, but the problem comes when you take the ethnic dishes, which you know are supposed to have flavor, and you take all the flavor out, but you still keep that ethnic label. No, come with that same energy that I expect from the ethnic restaurants.
You know what? I think like what's so lucky about being Malaysian is that one, there's a shit ton of us here. Two, there's a lot of like access to like really genuine, like authentic.
Yeah.
There are really like lots of authentic Malaysian restaurants nearby in Leicester Square. So I don't really miss the food, although what I do miss are the prices.
Yeah, I haven't been to any Jamaican restaurants because why would I pay for food that I can simply go over to my family's house for? Like, just, where's the sense in that, guys?
I'm sorry, I could pay for like a full Malaysian meal for like £1 back home, and over here it's like 12.
This is a LSE catering specific thing, but like every time LSE catering tries to do Jamaican patties, they just, wait, we're out of focus, what?
Oh, he does that all the time.
Yeah. Anytime LSE Catering tries to do Jamaican patties, you know, classic Jamaican food. No. Which is weird because they do the next island really well. They do Cuban food really well.
Yeah.
Like, last time I ate their Cuban food, it told me that Che Guevara never died and rumors of his death are imperialist propaganda. It was that Cuban. The Jamaican food is just, no, like, it's not even that it's bad, it's just wrong. Like, it's just not Jamaican. It's just, like, what they're calling patties is really just pasties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that's what patties evolved from, yes, but they're not the same thing. Like, you can't just put whatever fillings you want in the patty. Like, there are traditional patty fillings, and corn is not one of them.
Okay, so moving on from food, because we can make a whole video on this.
Dealing with locals from your own culture. I think Ashley can speak about this a bit, well, actually no, I think I can speak about this a bit more than Ash, because like the Malaysians, they tend to be from Malaysia.
Yeah.
But like, I know this for a fact because, you know, thanks LSE statistics, I'm the one Jamaican at LSE that's actually from Jamaica, at least in undergrad. There's 2 of them in masters, although that stat's going to change next year because, you know, the length of master's degrees is quite different. That doesn't mean I don't come across people who identify as Jamaican, like, but it's mostly like British born Jamaicans and British born Caribbean people, and to a wider extent British born black people. And it's just kind of isolating because obviously the parts that they cling to the most about like their Caribbean identities are just happen to be the strongest parts, like the music and the food and hobbies. But when you're actually from Jamaica, like, your tastes just aren't going to be the same as like the typical Jamaican taste.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I like dancehall, but it's not my favorite genre of music, you know. Like, I find it kind of annoying when people try to start conversations with me about dancehall and reggae, because I'm just like, I like Bob Marley. Talk to me about K-pop, goddammit. Like,
I think like for me, it's not that I don't interact with like Malaysians at LSE, it's more that like I just don't relate to them on a lot of things, because like I'm not your typical I'm not like other Malaysians. I did study in Australia for 2 years, so, and I do have like, most of my friends tend to be Western or Western adjacent. And I do have Malaysian acquaintances here at LSE, don't get me wrong, although like it also can be kind of isolating, because as a Malaysian I am like a super minority, because I'm not just East Malaysian, most people here are West Malaysian because they're all bougie, but I'm also like indigenous Malaysian, and then not a shit ton of us here at LSE to begin with. So I tend to disidentify with a lot of the Malaysians here, who mostly tend to be Chinese, because I don't, like, I had a lot of Chinese and Malaysian friends growing up, but that's not really my culture. And even if there are indigenous Malaysians here, I feel like I just be acquaintances with them, mainly because I identify, not that I identify more with white people, I'm not gonna say that, it's more that like,
yeah, Ashley's not a trick asshole.
it's more that like, I don't know, it's like, also, I feel like it also has a lot to do with being LGBT.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly,
it's just like, it just so happens that you share more interest with people outside of your people group than like people inside. Like, because I don't think any of the things that I like and enjoy are specifically related to me being Jamaican. Like, I mostly think about being Jamaican when I think about food. Yeah. And I think about them visa restrictions. And I think about the problems specific to Jamaica. But that's easily solved by introducing my friends to Jamaican food and memes.
Yeah.
And that's all. Like, I think we've all learned a bit about all from being in front of me.
Good up. Queen Elizabeth country.
Stop it. another thing that's hard is, well, I don't know how much of a problem this is for you being Asian, but moving from being a majority in your own country to being a minority. I mean, this isn't a problem specifically at LSE, but more in the UK in general. Like, you have your park incident.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
I was running in the park one afternoon, and a bunch of lads started yelling mock Chinese at me. I mean, like, yes, it was it was a really sad incident, but again, I grew up in the harsh environment that was racist Australia. Yeah, I did, you know, go to Australia, so like I was used to that kind of stuff before coming here, but still it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't. So, because the majority, like 91% black according to census data. So I didn't really have to deal with that problem. Obviously there's colorism and stuff and classism, but it's not like as overt. Like, no one's gonna assume that I do sports because I'm black in Jamaica. You're gonna assume I do sports because I'm tall, which is understandable. But no, like, people asking me if I run, bitch, I have asthma. Like, poorly controlled asthma, because like definitely there's a lot of people that are asthmatic and do sports, but not this gal.
Yeah, I just sometimes tend to feel like international students tend to be really homogenized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, people mistaking me for other black people, like even in my own halls. For context, my hall has like 250 of us, and there are about like less than 15 black people, and of that I would say it's like half boys, half girls, and none of us are the same height or the same physique or the same skin tone, yet we still get confused for each other, and I just don't understand. Like, at least I can be excused for not being able to tell the white boys of my halls apart, because literally same height, same skin tone, same hair color, like tall white blondes at Passfield. Who are you? Who are you? But it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Because I would think that you could tell someone who's tall and skinny apart very well from someone who's like short and plump, like got that thickness, you know.
Yeah. And also, like, I just feel like Asian international specifically, which, you know, we do make up the majority of like international students.
32%.
There it is. Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
32%.
You remember numbers really well.
Yes.
Okay. Got the gift in that 5 head.
Literally came from my edges.
Yes. Yeah, and like Asian internationals tend to be really homogenized. Like, it's almost as though we have no individual identity. Like, when it's in the sense that like sometimes when people talk about, like, I don't know how to put this, it's like when people start talking about the international students,
Yeah.
which quote unquote the Asians, they're always just like, they always refer to us as a group, never really as individuals.
And I feel like not being individualized in this context is just really bad, because like people only are able to refer to these people as a group because they have no friends from that in-group.
Yeah.
Like, you have no Asian international friends, therefore it's easy to generalize them and like make these stereotypes about them, when really if you just like knew them as individuals. Because like, even the international Asians, like they're diverse, obviously. Like, they don't come from the same country, they don't look the same, they're just different people.
Yeah.
Like, of course you're gonna get along with people from your own country, but I know I would be friends with like any Jamaican that come to LSE, please come. And then people seem to like malice them for that, like have some beef with them for like being friends with people from the country. It's like, oh, excuse me, home students, how many of your friends are international? Because they look at you just like, oh, it's just those white home students again.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're displaced like how many friggin' kilometers away from our home. Yeah, we like a familiar face once here and then.
And then, especially with the larger international like country groups, it may be that you see people from your school that you actually like.
Yeah, I know so many people who went to the same school as me in Malaysia. I've avoided all of them. I'm just kidding. Some of them.
But it's just like, stop that.
Yeah.
We're not the same. Like, even between my own friends at home, we're absolutely not the same. We all don't look the same.
Yeah.
I have white friends back home, and yeah, that's me pulling the I have black friends. Yeah, I have
I'm 1/16 white.
white friends back home, and like I just no, like you can never narrow someone down to just like their fee status at uni. It's no. This is really niche, like white maleness of LGBT groups.
Yeah, so
And
I don't think
spaces.
I've ever like publicly mentioned this on my channel, but I'm very much not straight.
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I mean, with that hair, sweetie. The jean jacket says it all, really. But like, you find that a lot of LGBT spaces, like not just at LSE, but in London in general, they're very white and very male. Usually, if it's not both, it's one or the other, definitely. And it can be quite alienating as like a queer BME to deal with that, because you just never feel quite in place anywhere, because like a lot of us come from rampantly homophobic countries.
Yes.
And so you build up this idea of coming to like a country where it's more accepted. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be free and open. But then bitch slap racism.
Once I went to heaven and this guy came up to me, looked me in the face and said, "Ni hao."
Yeah.
How do you respond to that? How...
People just find the most weird, somewhat fetishistic ways to tell you you're pretty. Like, just tell me I'm pretty. Please don't mention Beyonce. There's no need. I mean, I don't think I'm on Beyonce's level. Don't disrespect her like that.
Beyonce?
Beyonce? No, they usually tell me I look like Shalissa. But yeah, there's no need to be weird about it. Like, just let me make a white people joke every now and then. We're good. Just like any of your other friends.
So what do you think about the curriculum at LSE?
Curriculum. At the first I was like kind of disappointed. I was like, who are these white people? Because for my course, one of the not prerequisites, but one of the required courses is GV100. And for the first term...
What is GV100 for the people back home?
Political theory. Introduction to political theory. And for the first term, bar like one theorist, you're learning about literally only antiquated white men. And it can be quite off-putting, especially if you've never learned that before, because like the home students, they were like Gucci because like they had done like A-level philosophy or A-level politics, but like we didn't really give a shit about that in the Caribbean, because like we mostly focus on like modernity.
Yeah.
So that was a really hard adjustment. But like as the course went on and as people became more vocal about like inclusivity, it got more diverse, and I would say even now it is much better. It's much better of a course than it was in previous years, because when I talk to like people in the year above me or like master's students who also went to LSE, they're just amazed by how much progress the course has made. So that kind of helped me step back on like the roasting the course material a bit, because it's just like, okay, so they are actually working to change that, which I appreciate, but step up the pace.
Yeah. And also like, don't pull that like you came to the UK therefore you learn British.
And it's like,
you know,
tell me what the Russian Revolution had to do with Jamaica and why I had to learn it. Please.
Yeah, I literally had to learn about the British Empire in Malaysia, so
it's like also tell me what the Russian Revolution has to do with any person outside of Russia. Like, it's not that we're saying that we want to erase all the British history, it's just that we can't overlook everything else that goes on outside of like the West.
Yeah, that's sort of like how LSE prides itself for being an international institution.
Yeah, and like, also I just think not even on an inclusivity like diversity level, it is just better for everyone's general understanding to understand non-Western perspectives on like race, and gender and politics and all of those things.
Yeah.
Like, it enriches you, and it makes us unable to have people who say reverse racism is a thing. Like, we're gonna have way less of those people.
It's not just a PC thing.
Yeah, like, we're doing this for the greater good.
Yeah,
I know that's what every supervillain says, but like, we truly are.
I mean, like, you know, you have people in Parliament literally spouting out some really hateful stuff about people who about like cultures that they're not used to seeing and not used to like hearing about or talking about, and that's because they're not exposed to these kinds of things and these kinds of narratives.
Like, exposure is just like really important in the role we all play in like ending racism.
And like the world, we're global citizens.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm getting evil.
And also like all these old antiquated white theories, we cover them as well in like our local universities.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just a European thing.
Yeah, it's not like we want to get rid of them, it's just that we don't want, you know, it to be only them.
Yeah, I mean, it's something everybody around the world covers. Like, I don't think you can go to a university, do a political theory course
and not talk about Plato or Aristotle. Like, we're going to talk about Plato and Aristotle, but we're also going to talk about Aristotle and natural slave and how that has real life impacts on like the slave trade.
And like also like I was talking to my cousin who does political science back home in Malaysia. She covers Marx and Weber. And they're very European, and that's a Malaysian public university.
We're not just gonna like criticize them for being white and European if they have actual good things to say. Hello, Daddy Marx. It's just that we have to realize that people's identity shapes the ideas that they come to hold.
That's just the social sciences for you. So being an international student at LSE, how did you find the diversity here? Like, compared to like other universities?
It's pretty good, because like one of the things I wanted to get away from was like the somewhat homogenous nature of like university in Jamaica. Like, I just wanted to go anywhere outside because my local uni in Jamaica is like 5 minutes away from my house, and that's just not something I wanted to deal with. I like how international it is. I feel like I've met someone from pretty much every continent on this point.
Who did you meet from Antarctica?
You know. Die.
I'm trying.
Stop. It's good to see the commonalities that you think is just exclusive to your people group, and then you meet other people who are just like, whoa, you guys do these things too, like Milo.
Yes.
Like,
Milo
is third world culture, guys. Milo.
Like, we've met people from South America, Asia, the Caribbean, all who like Milo.
Wait, does Taksha like Milo? Does he know Milo?
I know that.
I know we talk about Maggi noodles.
Yeah. I know that Karthik likes Milo.
Okay. So it's just fun seeing all the things you have in common. Not just because like, just from being from the global south in general, like, poverty is such a shared experience.
I mean, like,
not really like
it's
poverty as in like household poverty, but like, you know, like national poverty is an experience, which is why these multinational food corporations manage to like get us hooked on Milo and stuff. But you know what? I'm fine. I love Milo.
Like, there is truth to the whole like a lot of international students are rich, you know, stereotype.
But honestly, that's not their fault, and not just because they're rich doesn't mean they don't work hard. Far be it from me. I hate rich people, but like,
I hate rich people too.
Yeah, he hates himself. But like, just because they're rich doesn't mean they're not smart or they didn't work hard to get into this school. And I'm saying specifically about rich internationals, not rich home students. You guys can. Being rich in an international context is a bit different from being rich in a UK context. Because like, someone who I consider to be rich back home would just be middle class in the UK. And like, I feel like actually even you, like, you would just be upper middle class instead of like rich.
Like in Malaysia, I'm technically elite. Yeah. But like over here, I wouldn't be classified as that.
You're just an ordinary Asian boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not all internationals are rich. It just so happens that it's the rich ones that can't afford this, because scholarships in the UK through undergrad degrees are like very limited. I mean, you'll find, if you like look around master's students, you'll find a lot less rich internationals because
you have more
they
scholarships.
have more scholarships. And yeah, it's not really, it's something that's hard to like push for in terms of like student support from the SU, because there's so few of us on scholarships. It's hard to push for more scholarships because like we are a minority. But yeah, guys, something to think about. Like, consider talking to your student union today about like providing more scholarships, and like the way you have to bust your ass to get these scholarships as well. Like, I did 5 A-levels just so I could be competitive enough to get a scholarship. And when you come here and you hear people who just like from private schools who got like the bare minimum, it's just really demoralizing. Like, what is
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's all we have to say for today.
yeah.
Please, if you are from a if you're an alt-right person wanting to roast us in the comments, please leave. We don't want your opinion. But if you really want to if you want to give us constructive advice, I feel continue.
Keep the conversation
Keep
flowing
the conversation
in the comments.
going.
Like and subscribe.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ash.
And I hope
Thanks for dealing with my antics, guys.
and I hope to see you guys next time,
Okay.
hopefully.